Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So in my last video I have talked about a few steps for those people who are interested to go abroad and study, and yeah, I have mentioned that I will be talking about IELTS and TOEFL, which are English proficiency exams. So yeah, here I am today for that video, and also at the end of the video I will mention something about a work experience, work opportunity in a foreign country, which was requested, but I don't have much knowledge on that since I don't have work experience in a foreign country. But yeah, I'll try to help out with the knowledge that I have. So let's get started. So friends, to begin with, why do we need English proficiency exam is because if you want to work or study outside in the English speaking countries, then of course they will ask for English speaking proof that you can speak English, because so that they will be convinced that you can take up the course or you can work without any communication problem. Yeah, so that's the reason why they need it. So it is a must for people who goes abroad for study, need to take an English exam. And in order to take up English exam, you will need a passport. Without passport you won't be able to appear exam. TOEFL, you will need to pass your 12th standard, and for IELTS you should be above 16 years, yeah, so that they will allow you to write the exam. And there are academic as well as general training exams, English exam. Like for those who want to work, they need to give general exams, general training English exam, and for students they need to give academic English exam. Yeah, so let's start with TOEFL first, that is test of English as a foreign language test. So if you look into TOEFL, then the process is 3 hours and 30 minutes. And for reading, you have to read a passage and then answer 35 to 56 questions in 60 to 80 minutes. And listening, you will have to listen to the conversation or debates over the headphone and answer 34 to 51 questions in 60 to 90 minutes. In writing, you will be asked to write an essay or a kind of statement, your opinion, and it will be 2 tasks, and one will be around 150 and the other will be around 250 to 350 words. So you have to finish that in 50 minutes. And for speaking, you will have to listen to the people over the headphone, and then you have to answer it and speak. It will be around 6 tasks and you have to finish that in 20 minutes. That is for TOEFL test exam. And if you look into the IELTS, that is International English Language Test System, the process is around 2 hours and 45 minutes. And for reading, you will have to read and answer 40 questions in 60 minutes. For listening, you will have a headphone and then you have to listen, same like TOEFL, you have to listen to the conversation and questions and then answer 40 questions in 30 minutes. For writing, you will have 2 tasks. One is around 150 and the other is around 250 words, and you have to finish that in 60 minutes. And for speaking, you will have 3 tasks, and for that you have to finish by 11 to 14 minutes. IELTS is more likely to be British English language test, and TOEFL is mostly like an American English language test. But during the course of your listening and whatever exam, you will hear lots of accents, mixed accents like American, British accent, Canadian accent, Australian accent. They're mixed accents, so yeah, you should be well versed with it. So first, let us talk about the advantages and disadvantages of TOEFL as per my experience, alright? So in TOEFL, I was allowed to sit in one room. It was like there's a compartment, like a computer academy kind of class, where there's a computer and there's a compartment where you have to sit, and there's the next person sitting next to you. Yeah, and then there will be headphone, and where you have to put your headphone and do all the work so that you don't get distracted. And if you are a computer person, then which is good for you, but for me, I am not so much computer person because I have eye problem, and it was my fault. I didn't took my anti-reflective class, and yeah, sitting in computer for 3 hours 45 minutes was like a hell for me because you know, it makes me feel dizzy. I was having headache, there was anxiety, pressure, because the time is ticking on. So many things that was happening, and you know, it was not easy at all. And you know, it was my first time ever in my English exam, so yeah, that was the thing. And then it was good for reading because you know, they will give you a passage in the reading, so the passage is here and your questions are here in the same screen, divided into two. And you know, when you're answering the questions, if you feel like you have to reread the readings then, or the passage, then you can just look here and then scroll, and then you can even answer in the same way, so which was a good advantage for me. But this advantage is for especially for listening and speaking, which I score less comparatively to the reading and writing, because you know, writing is something where they give you 150 to 350 words, something like that, which you don't have to exit. So when you're typing in a computer, if you're fast in typing, then you can see how much word you have written, so it will help you to like check and then help you from, or refrain yourself from exiting much word limit. Yeah, so it was good experience for reading and writing. But for listening and speaking, you know, when you're listening, you sometimes you get distracted, and especially when it's speaking, you know, you have to put your earphone, and then you have to listen carefully, and you have to give your opinion. So it was like, you know, some people already started speaking, so you can hear them speaking. At the meantime, you can hear someone over the headphone talking, and then you know, if you try the volume, it's too loud. Again, if you volume down, you can hear people talking. It was really a mess for me, and then I can hear the people next sitting to me talking more than like someone talking in the earphone. And you know, because of the consciousness, and you know, you're so conscious to know what they are talking, you know, the mixture of feelings and emotions, everything was so messed up. And I didn't score well in listening and writing because I have a bad listening skills anyways, to be honest. So I scored below 25. Yeah, but for reading and writing I score 25 plus. Yeah, so we have to score from 1 to 30 for each section, which is altogether 120. So that is the advantage and disadvantage of TOEFL. Coming to advantage and disadvantage of IELTS, I choose paper-based for IELTS. They have even computer-based, internet-based, but I choose paper-based because you know, we have the tradition of writing in a paper, which was good, but I scored less in writing because maybe they didn't understand my handwriting or something, I don't know. But yeah, my handwriting is not good, so maybe that's the reason, because I wrote like as fast as I can, and I didn't know how to like, I didn't get time to count the words, so it was really annoying. So it was a disadvantage. And also reading and reading, like you have to flip the page over and over again, you have to check, and then you have to write. So it was really not so convenient as in a computer. Yeah. And for speaking, it was really good because you know, you don't need to speak in a computer, sit in a computer and speak to yourself, like just in the TOEFL, because I feel so weird sitting in and listening and talking to myself. Like I feel like I was talking to myself. But yeah, in IELTS you have to sit with a person who asks you a question, and it was the face-to-face, like an interview, and it was really comfortable. I was very convenient, and you know, they give you 3 tasks, where first task is you have to share about yourself, and the second, they will give you a paper where there's a question written, and they will give you 2 minutes to read and digest the question, and they will even give you paper and pencil so that you can write down any point if you want to mention, if you think that you will forget while having a conversation. Yeah, so that's how they do it. So it was good experience for me listening, and then speaking was a good experience. For speaking, I score better in my IELTS because they choose from 1 to 9, 0 to 9, 10, and 0 to 9 I got 7.5 in speaking. Yeah, and the rest I got like 6.5, 7. Yeah, so that was my experience. It was which one was better for me. IELTS was much better for me because it's a paper based. Maybe that's the reason, or maybe it was not my first experience. It was TOEFL was the first experience. Maybe that was not so good. Even TOEFL had a paper based. Yeah. So okay. So talking about where you can appear, it's all over India. For TOEFL, I appeared in Delhi, and for IELTS, I appeared in Kolkata. Yeah. And you can apply after every 12 days. Like if you applied and if you appear, and then if your result turn out to be bad, or not up to your expectation, or not up to the expectation of the university, then you can reapply after 12 days, or you can reappear after 12 days, and your result will be out within 10 days, and they will give you a printed report through post by 13 to 15 days. Yeah, so that is the overall thing. Talking about how to prepare for exam, if you have money, then which is good, you can apply for coaching, you can go for class and practice, because you know English is not our native for people from India. It's not our native language, and it is not easy for us. Even though you're good in English, the thing is you have to know the techniques. So you can go for me, I didn't have much time because after my master I worked for a year and I was really busy because my work job demand for me constant traveling, so I was traveling a lot, so I didn't have much time to go for coaching class, for English class and so right after my work I have to study like myself at least 30 minutes, not hours, at least 30 minutes in a day for at least 15 days before my exam. Yeah, because I didn't have much time even to study, as I was living alone with my sister, so it was not easy for me. So yeah, for me I studied alone myself in my room, so no one taught me. But one good advantage is you will once you get apply for the exam, you will receive a kind of sample, a book, small booklet, and a CD discs where you can practice yourself at home. So using that, I practice myself about the time, the standard, how the process and everything I learn from it, so that I don't get confused when I go and sit here and write exam, because it's not like a normal English exam. Yeah, so you have to be very well versed with the process also. It's very important. About the price, it's like 13,000 to 14,000. Yeah, but it depends upon the season. So sometimes it is 13 to 14,000, both IELTS and TOEFL. So yeah. Also talking about the work experience. So I have no work experience in any foreign country, to be honest, but for those people who are going to work, you will even need English language test. That is, you have to, it's a little different from academic, and I heard that it's more easier than academic, but I don't know, I have no knowledge about that. I'm sorry, I have no experience, I have no knowledge. But work experience here, I looked for part-time. For students who are holding student visa can work 20 hours. I'm talking about the British government regulation, okay, not about American or something. So yeah, you can work for 20 hours in 1 week, and they pay you per hour. So it's not monthly, but it's per hour, how long you work. Yeah, so per hour they give you 8 point something pounds, that is like around 700-800 rupees per hour. Yeah, so that is it. And there are lots of job opportunities, but it's not as easy as we think. But it will be always good if you're interested to go out, work, and try to get more knowledge, enhance your knowledge, and come back and work for your own country, then, which is a very good idea. If you're planning for that, you can go ahead, but I have no experience so far, so I'm so sorry, I cannot help you in that. Yeah, so that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, kindly like and do share with friends who are preparing for IELTS exam. Yeah, and I think during this COVID time, it is a good time for you to practice and learn, so that in the coming years, once this pass away, once the COVID pass away, you can appear your exam and plan for future. Yeah, so thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.